Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about slings and sling comfort. Now, I had a guy reach out to me called Dustin. He literally contacted me and said, hey, we've got a product we're now selling on Etsy and I think it's a really good product that you would really like. So would you mind if we sent you one? You could review it, you can give us some feedback, whatever you want to do. And it's this product, the Sling Guide. Now, you may be thinking, what is a sling guide? Now, this is going to be... I think this is going to work for most people. I actually use them in my gameplay at the moment. I've never tried this brand of sling guide, but I actually probably started using a sling guide or an equivalent, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I like running slings that are like this. Very thin, and this is a great one. Unfortunately, I don't think they make these anymore, but this is from Wayward Group. I found these on eBay. I got this recommendation from Ollie Talks Airsoft's channel, and then I went and got these slings and I absolutely love them. And they're great because they are so lightweight, so easy. They don't have a big padded area on there, which originally I actually started using padded slings. And I was like, okay, this is cool. It's giving me more comfort. I actually don't really like them. And I know some people do, so this is a personal preference. But I think these work a lot better in terms of like maneuverability, like moving around your neck if you're needing to do that. Like the actual comfort isn't nearly the same, but it definitely gives you a lot more. I think ergonomically they're better. However, the problem, and I've got my AK here and I've got my APFG MPX. The problem that you will have is this. Now, if you're playing a long game, you're playing a milsim, you're out there for a long time, especially, this can start to dig into your neck. And I wear a plate carrier most of the time I play. I'll show you now quickly. I'm going to put this down. I don't want to break my AKM. I wear a plate carrier most of the time. This has little padded shoulder pads on here. However, it will cut in between my shoulder pad and my neck. And this is the current sling guide that I use. Now, what this is basically like a little bit of plastic that just sits in that area on top of the shoulder pad, which is going to basically allow the sling just to hook into that location. So it's not going to be putting that pressure down onto your neck, your shoulder region. I'll put this on so we can, I'll move my mic so that you can still hear me. But this is my plate carrier setup that I use for most games. Like I would say probably like 90% of the time I play, I'm using this, which is a Cry SPC. I don't know where I'm going to put this now. Let's see if we can just clip it onto here. Hopefully that works and you guys can hear it. I've just realized though, actually, that's going to be in a really bad location for the spring. So maybe I'll just clip it onto my molly right here and we'll see if that works. Or not. Let's clip it here. This is going to be like a lesson in where to clip your mic as opposed to an actual sling. Okay, so I have this basically which sits here, and this is the one that I've used. I think this is from FMA, so it's quite a bigger, it's a bigger company. You can get these on Amazon, or this is the one that actually I got fairly recently. I actually never ended up installing it. So when these guys from Sling Guide contacted me, I was like, I already use one of these. I know the benefit of it. So I'd love to just unbox it on the channel, have a look at it and see if it's something that I would recommend to you guys. So we're going to check it out today. I literally just had a little peek in the box and that was it. So I really don't know what this looks like, but to give you an idea of how my current one works, you can see here, when I am carrying this around, this is just digging into my neck. Now, if you have that pad, that might help a little bit. But if I shift this, it sits in that location. It still allows me to maneuver it, to use it, and it doesn't affect the use of it. But it basically then stops that little bit of that sling from digging into my neck. So that's the big advantage with these. I obviously also, I don't just run an AK. I do run 2-point slings and also 1-point slings. And I'll show you what actually I think is a bigger issue, which is if you run a 1-point sling, you actually kind of get pinched a lot more. I'm gonna open this up a bit. Get this out the way. There we go. You can get pinched a lot more. So you can see here, like when this is actually attached onto my my MPXK, like this, the weight of it actually pinches, and it can actually like just literally put all the weight onto that location and squeeze you. So with that right there, you can see there, like the advantage of that sling guide is pretty awesome. So I'm going to try out, like this one has worked. Like it's always been something where I'm like, okay, you know, I like it, it works. So I've never really looked for another alternative. From the pictures I've seen from this one, it looks like it's bigger, which could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I'll show you this other one from FMA here, which I never actually opened. This one is a metal. This is called their FMA Professional. I think this is about $18, maybe $20 to buy this. But I don't really know what this little like QD like kind of attachment loop is for. It's going to be the same thing where it's going to go in that location. This one's metal as opposed to that one being plastic. I think you can switch. It looks like there's a couple of screws there, so you can switch it around if you need to. Sorry, it's pretty hot in here, so I'm starting to sweat. But this is just going to be the wrap that goes around it, and then that's going to put it in position. So we can have a look at that one and install that one as well in a second. But really what we're here for is this. I'm going to take this off because otherwise I'm going to get so hot. I don't know why the AC in here does not seem to be working. You can see there wearing a grey shirt with a plate carrier is not the best idea. So that one's about, so let me just check the price of that one from FMA. So you can get that on there right now. It's $17.68 is, oh, and actually though, it's $14 delivery and it won't get here for another 2 weeks. So it is probably shipped from overseas. It's got a 5-star rating with only 9 views. I will put a link to that down below. But as I said, these guys actually did this. And if we like this, I'm just reading the email now. He is giving me an affiliate link. So it will apparently be an affiliate. I think this thing's only $15. So it's pretty great that it's an affiliate link, but it's not exactly going to benefit the channel that much. Hopefully you guys, if we like it, will go there. And then I think it's also 20% coupon for the followers. So if you go and click the link below, you like this one, go and click it, you'll get 20% off what it is. But it looks like they've said black on this side and then green on that side. Oh, I've just realized again, you probably didn't hear me that well there. But these are what they look like. And now this is pretty different. You can see here, this design is a lot bigger, like actual like loop here, or it's a lot more pronounced than upright sitting. It doesn't fold over as much in the same way, which I can imagine actually I think is going to be a good thing, because I think that is going to catch it, where if you're trying to like get the sling off, it's going to like actually get stuck in there. This one looks a lot more like it could actually like come over and around. It is bigger, but I don't think it's going to be that much bigger. We'll have to see what it's like when we install it. And then it's also got like a built-in little hook there to go on your like your shoulder pad. I think you could also put these, if you wanted to, on a chest rig, anything which has got like a strap that's going to go over your shoulder. This thing's going to work for. So they've got a green version and a black version. It does look like they're 3D printed. And there'll be an Etsy link, as I said, down below. I think they're US based as well, which is cool. Weight wise, it's a lot lighter than this FMA version. The one that I've currently got on my plate carrier, which might be annoying to get off, actually, I've just realized. Actually, no, it's not annoying to get off. So that just literally slips through there. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that with this one. I think it's going to have to go over the top. So we'll see on that one. But this is the FMA one that I don't know if they sell this anymore. I actually damaged this shoulder pad by doing this, so that's probably not great. That is the FMA one that I've been using previously, and I presume they've just like stopped this one because it is quite flimsy compared to their metal version, which has got no give in it. But that is for comparison of size. You can see the difference in the hook size right there. Okay, so let's try this on. I think I'm going to go with the black one, even though the green is quite cool. I think they do a couple of other colors. They may do like an FDE as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to hook it onto there. I have quite thick shoulder pads on here, although I could do that. Let's work out what we want to do with this, because I could hook it into this little like cover that I have, or I could try and hook it over the entire thing. I think the cover is going to be the way to go. Oh, and the other thing I think, just from, because I did a quick dive, just looked at it as I was about to open this, is I think they also do a version which is thinner. So that gap there could go like over like a smaller little, if you don't have thick like pads and you want to do it on a chest rig or something like that, then I think that could be a better version to do. So that's it there. It is definitely more pronounced. I might shift this back a bit, because I think from the pictures and the videos as well, it might work better if it's almost like on the rear. So let's maybe run it there. And let's see if that's, it's got this kind of good double-sided Velcro. I think that could be kind of good because it's going to be in that location where it's behind. So let's put this plate carrier on again. Let's see if I can keep my mic. No, I'm going to have to move the mic. Put it back in this little spot right here. I think I mean, that's fully out the way. So we'll see if that works with that location. But from the pictures actually on their site or on the Etsy page, looks like he runs it slightly further back like this. So if I have this here and I hook that back over there, that actually works pretty well. In fact, that works a lot better, I think, than it does if it's further forward, because it really keeps it out the way. And because of like how large that is, or how like up and pronounced it is. Now, the one thing I would say with these hooks is I always wonder about switching shoulders, because I will, even when I'm running a 2-point sling, I will, not with this one, how tight it is. To be honest, I don't do it on my AK, but I do. There, that is holding it really nicely. It's kind of like keeping it in that spot right there. I will like switch shoulders, and this actually is going to be more. See, that is going to affect it slightly. And again, I'm hitting the mic there, but that is going to affect it slightly if I switch to that shoulder. Let's test it on the other one. Like, I think it makes a big difference. And to be honest, like, I won't normally run that. I haven't played it with that AK and kind of like done that form of gameplay, because normally what I'll end up doing is I'll be playing CQB if I'm switching shoulders that way. Let me just, what are we doing here? I'm just going to undo it and then do it properly. Okay, so this is the, okay, so that AK, I've got it set up in that way because it's an old school AK. I'm not going to put QD release points on it. And how I normally will run my replicas is I'll have an option for a 2-point. So I've got one at the front or one in front of the magwell. And then I'll also have, if you're making comments about this die freeco thing, I know it's the wrong way around. We've done tons of videos. I like it more as a thumb hook, like here, or to just kind of grip it on the front here. So the amount of times now I'm making comments and they're like, oh, you know, you've got the grip the wrong way around. I'm like, if you watch the full video, you'll see that that's not the case. Well, it is the case, but that's what I'm trying to do. So that in the 2-point configuration is perfect. I mean, I can release this. I'll do the, it's not like hindering like the movement, which I think for me would have been the big thing. I've actually got that hooked on the back of my plate carrier somewhere else there. Yeah, so that movement's good. And then if I want to, I will then switch it over to the 1 point, which I've got a kind of slider there for. And that then, this is actually catching on the back of my plate carrier somewhere else, which is weird and annoying. Okay, yeah, so that is there. And again, it's just stopping that from encroaching. So I definitely like it, guys. I have to say, for $15, it's worth just buying it to like check it out and see if it's something you like. What I do like actually, especially, is because it's so far back there and how where it is there, it's not like coming unhooked, but it's easy for me to unhook it if I want to, like that. And then it's also like out of the way. So my head, if I'm going down to like sight picture, like my head's not getting in the way, or it's not like banging on any of that. So, and then they've got the green version, which is, I think they've given me 2 of the large ones. So that's going to be the same version. But I think with that one there, if that was on that rear location, I'm almost going to be like pulling up and it's going to like kind of give me resistance or trap it in. This kind of feels like that's not going to trap it in that same way. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but definitely put it in the comments below. But anyway, guys, I'll put a link to this down below. I'm going to switch over to this and I'll use it now for my next few gameplays. And I'll give you guys my opinion after playing with it. Look how sweaty I am. This is crazy. Grey t-shirt is the worst thing to wear, especially in LA when it's hot. But I'll give you my impression after gameplay. But from just like that initial test, I think it's going to be a good one. As I said, it's $15. I think they're based in Boise, Idaho. It's an Etsy link. They've got their sling rifle. Look, you know what I'll do actually, so you guys can see this, is I'll share the old screen. And you can see here. So Sling Guide is a new company, new on Etsy. It says it is rifle sling cushioned. And then, okay, so they've got one. That was wrong with that. They've got one listing. Okay, select color, black, green, sand, brown. They've also got basic, which is a 5mm thickness, and a thick one's 10mm thickness, and it's $15. So and it arrives on August 8th. And right now it is August 5th, so in 3 days. So that's pretty good. But here's some of the pictures just from how they run it. And you see what I mean? I think he runs it back here. And so that's, I think, the advantage is that well, that's why I tried it that way. You see here, he runs a thicker sling. So actually this would work with a thicker sling as well. This doesn't have to necessarily be a thin sling. But guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming in and watching, giving me your time. Hopefully this has been interesting to you. Links will be down below in the description. Have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you very soon on the next video. Sweaty Badger, goodbye.